The old woman's eyes still follow me in my dreams. 3 months later, I still wake up screaming, "My name is Amara, and I need to tell someone what happened to me. Maybe if I write it down, the dreams will stop. Maybe I can sleep again." It started on a Tuesday evening in Lagos. I was 22 then, working at a small bank in Victoria Island. I thought I was smart. I thought I knew how the world worked. I was wrong about everything. That day, I stayed late at work to finish some reports. My boss wanted them first thing Wednesday morning. By the time I left the office, it was already dark. The streets were busy with people going home, but I was tired and just wanted to get to my flat. I took a bus to my neighborhood in Surler. The ride was long and hot. People pressed against each other, everyone trying to get home. When I finally got off the bus, it was past 8 o'clock. My flat was a 10-minute walk from the bus stop. The street was quiet. Most people were already inside having dinner. Street lights flickered on and off. Some were broken completely. I was walking fast, my bag held tight against my chest. Lagos at night could be dangerous for a young woman alone. I kept my head down and my steps quick. That's when I saw her. The old woman sat on the side of the road near a broken street light. She was very thin. Her clothes were old and torn. Her gray hair was messy. She looked like she hadn't eaten in days. As I got closer, she looked up at me. Her eyes were strange, very bright in the dim light. "Too bright, please," she said. Her voice was soft but clear. "I haven't eaten today. Do you have any food? Or money for food?" I slowed down but didn't stop walking. I had money in my purse. Not much, but enough to buy her a meal. I had eaten lunch that day. I would eat dinner when I got home, but I didn't want to stop. I was tired. I wanted to get home. The street felt unsafe with the broken lights. What if this was a trick? What if she had someone hiding nearby to rob me? "I don't have anything," I lied. I kept walking. "Please," she called after me. "Just a little help, anything." I walked faster. I didn't look back. "You will remember this night," she said. Her voice was different now, louder. "You will remember." I almost turned around, but I didn't. I just walked faster until I reached my building. I climbed the stairs to my flat on the 3rd floor. I locked the door behind me and felt safe again. I made some rice and stew for dinner. I watched TV for a while. I did my normal evening routine. I brushed my teeth, changed into my nightgown, and got into bed, but I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the old woman's face, her bright eyes, her thin hands reaching out to me. I kept hearing her voice, "You will remember this night." Finally, around midnight, I fell asleep. That's when the dreams started. In the first dream, I was back on the street, but this time, the old woman wasn't alone. There were others with her, lots of them. Old people, young people, children, all thin and hungry, all looking at me. "Why didn't you help?" they asked. "Why didn't you help her?" I tried to run, but my feet wouldn't move. I tried to speak, but no words came out. They all kept staring at me with those same bright eyes. I woke up sweating. My heart was beating fast. I looked at my clock. It was 3 in the morning. I got up and drank some water. I told myself it was just a dream, just my mind making me feel guilty for not helping the old woman. I would forget about it in a few days. I went back to bed and slept until my alarm rang at 6. The next day at work, I felt strange. Everything seemed different. Colors looked too bright. Sounds seemed too loud. My coworkers' voices sounded far away even when they were right next to me. I made mistakes on simple tasks. I forgot things I had known for months. My boss asked if I was feeling okay. I told her I was just tired. But it wasn't tiredness. Something was wrong with me. That night, the dreams came again. This time, I was in my childhood home in Ibadan. My grandmother was there. She had died 5 years ago, but in the dream, she was alive. She looked disappointed in me. "Amara," she said, "I taught you better than this. I taught you to help people when you can." "Grandma, it was dangerous," I said. "I was alone at night." "You had choices," she said. "You chose to lie. You chose to walk away." "I was scared," I said. "Fear is not an excuse for selfishness," she said. then she faded away. I woke up crying. This continued for days. Every night, the dreams got worse. Every day, I felt more strange. I stopped enjoying food. Everything tasted like sand. I couldn't focus on anything. My work suffered. My friends noticed something was wrong, but I didn't know what to tell them. After a week, I decided to go back to that street. Maybe if I found the old woman and helped her, the dreams would stop. I went there after work on Tuesday, exactly 1 week later. I brought money and some food I had bought from a nearby restaurant, but she wasn't there. I asked people in the area if they had seen an old woman begging on that street. Some said yes, they had seen her many times over the years. Others said they hadn't seen her in days. She comes and goes, one man told me. Sometimes she's here, sometimes she's not. Nobody knows where she lives. I waited for 2 hours, but she never came. The dreams got worse. Now, in my dreams, I wasn't just seeing the old woman and hungry people. I was seeing things from my past. Every time I had been selfish. Every time I had ignored someone who needed help. The time in secondary school when a new student was being bullied, and I did nothing because I didn't want to become a target myself. The time my neighbor's house caught fire, and I watched from my window instead of running to help. The time my cousin needed money for her sick baby, and I lied and said I was broke even though I had savings. All these memories played in my dreams every night, but they were different now, twisted in the dreams. The consequences were much worse. The bullied student killed herself. My neighbor died in the fire. My cousin's baby died. I knew these weren't real memories. These things hadn't actually happened, but the dreams felt so real that I started to believe them. I stopped sleeping. I would lie in bed all night, afraid to close my eyes. I drank coffee all day to stay awake at work. My hands shook from too much caffeine and too little sleep. My friends were worried. My family was worried. My boss threatened to fire me if my work didn't improve. 2 weeks after that first night, I was walking home from work again. I was so tired I could barely walk straight. My vision was blurry from lack of sleep. I passed that same spot where I had seen the old woman. She wasn't there, but I stopped anyway. I knelt down where she had been sitting and put the food and money I had brought on the ground. "I'm sorry," I said out loud. "I should have helped you. I'm sorry." I felt foolish talking to an empty street, but I didn't care. I was desperate. I needed the dreams to stop. Nothing happened. No voice from nowhere. No sign that anyone heard me. Just traffic noise and the sound of my own breathing. I went home and tried to sleep. The dreams came anyway, but this time, they were different. This time, I was in a place I had never seen before. It looked like a village, but not like any village in Nigeria that I knew. The houses were strange. The trees were strange. Even the sky looked wrong. The old woman was there, but she looked different too. She wasn't thin and weak anymore. She stood tall and strong. Her eyes glowed like fire. "Do you know who I am?" she asked. I shook my head. "I am a test," she said. "I appear to people to see what they will do, to see if they have kindness in their hearts." "I failed," I said. "Yes," she said. "You failed. What happens now?" I asked. "You learn," she said. "You learn what it feels like to need help and have no one care." "How long will this last?" I asked. "Until you understand," she said. "Until you truly change." I woke up, and I knew the dream was more than just a dream. The next few weeks were the worst of my life. I lost my job because I couldn't focus on work. I lost weight because food still tasted like sand. My friends stopped calling because I was too strange to be around. I spent my days walking around Lagos looking for people who needed help. I gave money to beggars. I helped old people carry heavy bags. I volunteered at a local charity, but it felt empty. I was doing it because I wanted the punishment to stop, not because I really cared about helping people. The dreams continued every night. 1 month later, I was at the market buying vegetables. I saw a young boy, maybe 8 years old, sitting alone near the entrance. He looked lost and scared. I walked over to him. "Are you okay?" I asked. He looked up at me with tears in his eyes. "I can't find my mama," he said. "We came here together, but she's gone." My first thought was to walk away. I had problems of my own. I didn't have time to help a lost child. Someone else would help him. But then I remembered the old woman's words. Until you truly change. I knelt down next to the boy. What's your name? I asked. Kemi, he said. Okay, Kemi, let's find your mama. What does she look like? For the next hours, I helped Kemi look for his mother. We walked through the entire market. We asked vendors if they had seen her. I bought him some water when he got thirsty. Finally, we found her. She was at the far end of the market, crying and asking everyone if they had seen her son. When she saw Kemi, she ran to him and hugged him tight. She was crying with relief. Thank you, she said to me. Thank you so much. I thought I had lost him forever. I felt something I hadn't felt in weeks. A warm feeling in my chest. Not because I wanted my punishment to end, but because I had actually helped someone. Because I had made a difference in someone's life. That night, I had a different dream. I was back in that strange village. The old woman was there, but she looked different again. Not glowing and frightening, but gentle and kind. Do you understand now? She asked. I think so, I said. It's not about helping people so that good things happen to me. It's about helping people because they need help. She smiled. Yes, that is the lesson. Will the dreams stop now? I asked. The bad dreams will stop, she said. But you will always remember what you learned. Good, I said. I want to remember. I woke up feeling different. The strange feeling that had been with me for weeks was gone. Food tasted normal again. Colors looked normal again. I felt like myself for the first time in a month, but I was a different version of myself. A better version. I got a new job at a different bank. I was more careful about how I treated people. I helped coworkers when they needed it. I gave money to beggars without thinking about whether they deserved it or not. I never saw the old woman again, but I think about her often. She taught me something important about who I want to be. Sometimes I wonder if she was really just an old woman who needed help. Maybe she was. Maybe the dreams were just my guilty conscience making me feel bad about being selfish, but I don't think so. There was something about her that wasn't normal. Something about her eyes and her voice that was more than human. I think she was exactly what she said she was in my dream. A test, and even though I failed the first time, I learned from my failure. I became a better person because of it. Now, when I see someone who needs help, I help them. Not because I'm afraid of punishment, but because it's the right thing to do. The dream stopped, but I still remember everything. I remember the feeling of being tested and failing. I remember the feeling of being forgiven and learning. Most of all, I remember her last words to me in that final dream. Everyone gets tested, Amara. Most people fail the first time. The wise ones learn from their failure and do better next time. I try to do better every day. I try to be someone who would pass the test if it came again, because I know she's still out there somewhere, sitting on dark streets, asking for help from people who are walking by. And I hope that when she finds them, they make a better choice than I did that first night. I hope they stop and help her, because the old woman never forgets, and she always keeps her promises. So tell me in the comments below, have you ever had a moment where you regretted not helping someone? Or maybe a time when a stranger's kindness changed your day? I'd love to hear your stories. Don't forget to subscribe to Folktales Insight for more incredible stories that remind us of the power of human connection. And remember, the next time someone asks for help, take those 30 seconds. You never know what opportunities might be waiting for you.